It's gotta go. It's gotta go. Oh, a little overexposure there. We're gonna go face this blizzard together here on the Lewis Switcher Show. Sometimes you just gotta face things head on. It's pretty nasty out there, but let's go take care of some business. It's a blizzard. The snow is so deep out here. Welcome to the Lewis Switcher Show, by the way, guys. Today's episode, I'm just gonna take a look at some of the snow that's fallen. I think we're supposed to get like 9 inches today, so it's gonna be exciting. Not really, I'm so tired of the winter, to be honest. I don't know if this is actually gonna be my last winter, but I think this winter has really kind of kicked my butt, and I've had very strong urges to go to a warmer climate once again. I've left the state before, but I learned to really appreciate it though. You know, after I left, you know, when something's taken from you and you return to it, I think that's, you know, it kind of gives you perspective on things, and you learn to appreciate it. I mean, the winter's pretty and it's pretty cool and everything, but it just kind of gets to you sometimes. But time to go shovel and take care of some business, and we're gonna get the show started very soon. I'm gonna show you some things that I recently picked up, maybe even showcase a few things. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just a quick few words of wisdom and inspiration to everybody that watches this. For me, I'm a dreamer, and I'm not afraid to admit that my whole life I've been a dreamer. I think one of my first dreams ever was to become a professional wrestler. Like, that was my ultimate goal in life, and obviously that's evolved into different things now. I have these plans to make a lovely horror film, and hopefully make something of a career in filmmaking, because it's important to dream. And don't ever let anybody else tell you what your dream should be. You know, we're all entitled to do what we want to do. As simple as it may sound, a lot of people never grasp that. And for me personally, I struggle with a lot of things, as most of us do. You know, I think a lot of us go through stuff that can be very difficult to overcome, but me personally, I think everything that we do, we can absolutely overcome anything. And just chase your dreams, people. Life's way too short not to. Go after what you want. And that's exactly what I intend on doing. Or at least until this heart of mine stops beating, but it's still beating. To wrap up this little inspirational, motivational load of sap that I have started the show out with, I just wanted to wrap things up by literally just saying to everybody that if I can inspire just an ounce of creative influence on anybody, or inspire them to, you know, go after something that they strongly desire, it's something that's very important to me as a person, because like I previously said, I just think that life is way too short to mess around with not going after with what you want. And you know, some things have really changed in my life lately that have motivated and truly inspired me to do something great with my time. And you know, there is only one life that we have. You know, we have one chance at it. Others may believe in you know, what reincarnation and all sorts of religious beliefs and stuff like that. For me personally though, I think it's like one shot. You know, you got one body, one set of eyes, and one heart that beats inside your chest, and it's up to you, the individual, to make the choices to get you to where you want to go. So to wrap it all up, into the sap, onto the film discussion, just wanted to point that out. It's okay to be inspired by somebody. I'm inspired by a lot of different people. I surround myself with things that are inspiring to me, because there's no other way for me to live than to surround myself with those things that make me happy, and to you know, just be comfortable with who I am. And I think that's a lot of people's issues, is not being comfortable and proud and happy who they really are. And if they're not happy and they need to change something, you got to do it, because I've been there. I've been unhappy, and I've been dissatisfied, and I think it's okay to be unsatisfied, because I don't think any of us are going to be 100% satisfied ever in our life. But that's good, because it leaves us hungry, and it leaves us wanting more and trying to achieve more and reaching higher. So, okay, that's enough. Lewis, you're done. On to the film discussion, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching the Lewis Switcher Show. I love every single one of you guys. Let's get this show rocking, huh? Woo! Shout out to my homie T Money 86, Lewis Switcher up in the Heezy. I had to steal it from him, I'm sorry, but I love you, brother. One more shout out too. I always love to do these little shout outs, quick, short, sweet, make my point across. PMAC Movies, God bless you, brother. Much love to you. I love you. You're my brother. Check out his channel, T Money 86, PMAC Movies. Gonna be down below. Subscribe, comment, like, all their shit. Great stuff, amazing. Showtime.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
Alright, so the first film we're going to talk about and briefly showcase, I showed you that clip there. Arnold's one of his best flicks that I remember growing up and watching as a kid was Commando. And I found this on DVD. I have a VHS copy of it, but I figured, you know, why not upgrade to DVD, 50 cents, thrift shop pickup. Incredible one-liners in here. Arnold just never seems to let you down, and a great action flick. My favorite of his happens to be Raw Deal. Anybody remember Raw Deal? But Raw Deal and Commando, I feel like, have a lot of similarities. You know, it's a revenge flick, and it's, you know, these people take his daughter, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. I don't want to go into the synopsis too in depth, but I can definitely tell you that Commando is very, very enjoyable. Arnold was definitely in his prime then. Great flick, 50 cents, can't go wrong. Alright, so next up, this is just definitely a showcase. I've had this in my collection for a while. We're going to continue on with my pickups, but I definitely wanted to showcase this one really quick. Kurt Russell's another guy that I have not mentioned on my show before that I feel is a very underappreciated actor. The guy has several films to his name. Just a fantastic actor. He's been in the business forever. But Ray Liotta and Madeline Stowe co-star in this film. Takes place in Los Angeles. Basically, a police officer pretty much kind of falls for Kurt Russell's wife, which is played by Madeline Stowe in this story. And the chemistry between Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta in this film is second to none. And it definitely is incredible to watch. I think the acting is superb. As far as the landscape of the film, it's an LA story, so you know a lot of it is shot in Hancock Park and downtown LA. But I think atmospheric and as far as being a thriller, I think it does its job, and it definitely keeps you intrigued. I think it's a 90-minute feature or something like that. But God, Jonathan Kaplan directed this, and I actually listened to the commentary track on here before, and very interesting stuff. I think it's a very realistic story, and you know, Ray Liotta is great at playing a nutcase. I think there's only certain few guys that I recall ever thinking that would be typecast as a psycho or a loony, a lunatic to say, but Ray Liotta's one of those guys, but he proved otherwise. I mean, his body of work proves that he can go A to Z, just like some of the other guys that I mentioned on my show. Kurt Russell, Madeline Stowe, Ray Liotta, Unlawful Entry. Great film to check out. It's definitely a thriller. There's some unforgettable scenes in here. I remember in acting class that I took when I was in school in college, me and an old buddy of mine, Rob, basically acted out a scene from this film, and that is the clip that I'm going to show you that we acted out. And I remember having to watch this scene over and over to try to get this down in front of our, you know, I think it was like 75 kids in the class or 100 people in the class, but we had to perform this scene together. And I played Ray Liotta's character, and my buddy Rob played Kurt Russell's character. So take a look at this clip and let me know your thoughts and your comments. And yeah, about Unlawful Entry. Let me know what you thought.
You were up late last night? You nervous about all this? What?
How do you know?
How do you think I know? I was driving by your house on patrol. I saw that your lights were on. You didn't go to bed till well after 3.
You don't have to protect us anymore, Pete. You caught him, remember?
Mike, one guy's out of business and you think that's it? You're not a virgin anymore, buddy. You saw how much evil shit there is out there. Now, what kind of friend would I be if I didn't do what I could to protect you and Karen from all of it?
God damn it, you listen to me, because I'm telling you. You leave us alone.
You know, I think I understand where this is coming from.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, just cut the shit, okay? And nobody expects you to be me. I'm a cop. I make my living going up against guys like Pike. You don't. You've got nothing to be ashamed of. Is that what you think this is about? Yeah, I do. Bet you had one hell of a night last night when you got home, didn't you, Michael? Juices flowing and everything? Friend would be thanking me.
I'm not your friend. I'm not your buddy. I'm nothing to you. You got that? I think you're a sick guy, Pete. I don't want you around me, and I don't want you around my wife. Michael,
so close up discussion on Unlawful Entry. That scene in particular, to me, was just always very, very intense. When two actors can play off each other like that and have that kind of on-screen presence to them and make you feel very involved in the situation on what's happening. Yeah, loved Unlawful Entry. Definitely give me your comments on what you guys thought, but we're going to move along. No cuts, no nothing, no BS. We're just going to keep on moving. These are the rentals that I was discussing that I picked up from my local library. I often really don't rent that many movies. Mostly I'm just purchasing because everything's so cheap now that you can find stuff at thrift shops and stuff like that. And you don't really have to rent anymore. But I did want to check out this film called The Comedian with Danny DeVito, Bob De Niro. Bob De Niro's a fantastic actor. There's no denying that. So what do you guys think of The Comedian? Anybody saw it? It's kind of new. I think it came out last year or the year before, but my buddy Ben told me that he saw it and it was pretty enjoyable, so I definitely want to give this a watch. Next, starring Rob Lowe and James Spader, is a film, I believe, that came out, 1990. It is called Bad Influence. MGM title. Never saw it. Definitely going to be watching this one probably this weekend. It is a blizzard out there. We're snowed in, so definitely going to get Bad Influence a watch. I always kind of liked Rob Lowe. Ever since Wayne's World, God, I love Rob Lowe in Wayne's World. I don't know why. I just always loved him in that film. So Bad Influence, James Spader, Rob Lowe. Thoughts? What do you think? Have you seen it? Next, Quentin Tarantino film. I'm almost positive this is a Tarantino film. Yeah, absolutely. Jackie Brown. I've never seen Jackie Brown. I was over at my sister and my brother-in-law's house, and they had it showing on television, so I definitely really wanted to check Jackie Brown out. Pam Grier. She's amazing. So what do you guys think of Jackie Brown? Quentin Tarantino's got some pretty fantastic stuff out there. I still haven't seen The Hateful Eight either. Is another one I really need to check out. But Jackie Brown is first up on the watch list this weekend. Probably this one first. All right, so pushing along on the show, I'm going to show you some stuff that I picked up over the last few weeks and stuff like that. Michael Shannon always makes an appearance on my show with great reason. And The Iceman is based on a true story. Richard Kuklinski was a serial killer, I believe, in the 70s or 80s. The cast is great. Another Ray Liotta flick that he shows up in. But Michael Shannon, James Franco, Ray Liotta, true story. Winona Ryder co-stars as well. Fantastic film. Pretty demonic, pretty disturbing, actually. But I dig these biopics, or however you want to phrase them, or put them into their category. But I always really like true stories and stuff that really took place. I'm sure a lot of it's fabricated and stuff, and they add a lot of spice for Hollywood. But Iceman, what did you guys think of this? So there's a review back here. It says it's Zodiac meets Goodfellas, a modern mob classic. I really enjoyed it. I think Michael Shannon can play any kind of character, and he's damn good at playing a psycho and a stone cold killer, hence the Iceman title. Thoughts on the Iceman? We're going to keep it moving. Next title is a Anchor Bay release, a film starring Robert Patrick. I know that I've mentioned him in my top 5 video. Robert Patrick, of course, played T-1000 in Terminator 2 and played Mike Rogers in Fire in the Sky. And this film is called Lost After Dark. The tagline on here, it says, "And you thought the 80s were dead. Retro 80s horror done right." Another review on the back here says the best 80s slasher film that wasn't filmed in the 80s. I remember seeing this a while ago and actually really enjoyed it. Robert Patrick's attached to it. Lewis Switcher's going to grab it. So Lost After Dark. Any thoughts on this one? Paid, I think, a couple of bucks, $2 or $3 for this. So check this one out. Another one that I have yet to actually break the seal on, and I mean, it's a classic. It's an American classic. An American Werewolf in London, David Naughton. Griffin Dunn, great film. Special effects, I think, were way ahead of its time. So very enjoyable, and very happy to upgrade this to Blu-ray. I only had a VHS copy of this, but I do remember as a kid seeing that werewolf transformation scene. I thought that was actually fantastically done and executed. So yeah, American Werewolf in London, definitely. I love this little Slippy Dippy too. It's really shiny and really nice. But didn't pay much for this either, a few bucks. Keeping it moving here on the show. We have a title that I found at a Salvation Army, and they actually had all their DVDs. Same Salvation Army that I got Commando from. Picked this one up called Slaughterhouse, and you don't really see too many oddball horror films at thrift shops anymore. It's mostly 4,000 or 5,000 copies of Jerry Maguire and Titanic. So Slaughterhouse, I remember picking this one up at the video store, VHS back in the day. I love the cover art, but don't really remember it too much. So this is one that I'm definitely going to pop in soon. I know it's a slasher flick, looks pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely remember checking it out when I was younger, but just can't recall a lot of it. Okay, so we're going to just keep moving here. Next one I got was, I believe, in, it was like a dump bin at Best Buy. I think it was like $4 or $5 or something like that. Can't go wrong with Little Boys in the Hood. Ice Cube's the man. Love that he's rocking that Detroit cap on the cover art for Boys in the Hood. But this is a classic. Definitely an American classic. Great to always revisit Boys in the Hood. I didn't own this one, so I was like, you know what, for $4 or $5, definitely worth it. Okay, and finally, on the pickups today, and you know, the stuff that I've actually gathered recently, I have a steelbook release of It Follows. This film is pretty crazy and pretty unique. I think that my favorite part about this film in general is that it's filmed near me. Literally, like the mental institution in the film, to where the 2 young kids you know, have sex in the back of the car, was filmed probably less than a quarter mile from my house. So on a future episode, we are definitely going to check out some filming locations from It Follows. They're going to tear that mental facility down, or the mental asylum, loony bin, whatever you want to call it. They're going to tear that down very soon. I think they're going to blow it up in the springtime. And I know that there's 24-hour security and police, and there's actually a state police forensics lab like right next door to this mental facility. So it's very hard to get on their property without, you know, getting attention and getting a trespassing ticket. And Lewis Switcher does not want to go to jail. But we will be taking a look at some It Follows locations on a future episode. All the locations for this film in which they were shot are very close to me. So it's great that Michigan at one time had a great film incentive program, and lots of motion pictures were shot here over the years. I'd love to hear your thoughts on It Follows, because honestly, the first time I watched it, I thought it was pretty bad, actually. Like, I didn't really get it. Watched it again, and you know, picked up some things that I didn't in the first viewing. But I liked it the second time around. I think the lead actress who plays the character of Jay was excellent. I thought she was a great actress. She kind of stole the show, in my opinion. And so thoughts on It Follows and all the other films, leave some comments down below and we'll get some discussion going. It's always very, very much appreciated to actually communicate with everybody and, you know, share some thoughts about the features. But much love to everybody. We will see you next time on the next episode of the Lewis Switcher Show. Much love, everybody.